Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk briefly, sort of an overview, about one of the topics that I think is the most important to anyone blogging or selling material on the web, and that's SEO, which stands for Search Engine Optimization. Now, you've all been to search engines. Google gets about 70% of the traffic. There's about 3 billion searches conducted on Google every day. And you probably know from your own experience that if you don't find what you need, you may try another search term. If you are getting some of the hits that you need, you probably only go through the first several pages before you decide to put in another search term. So the idea of search engine optimization is to help your website rank higher in those searches on Google and the other search engines. The better you're ranking for specific keywords, the more likely you are to drive traffic, which leads to potential new business. Now, understand SEO isn't about typing in your name and finding that you are on top of the Google list. It's about finding unsolicited web traffic based on the kind of information that you are providing. Search engines are basically reliant upon keywords. So if you are a photographer, putting in photography is a keyword. And we'll talk about the best keywords for the kind of information you're providing. And we'll talk about some of the tools for finding these keywords, the kind of words you might want to put inside of your blog posts, what they call linking back from other websites. Because not only does Google look at the keywords that you're using in a search, but they also look at how many people are linking to your site, and they're also looking at how many people come to your site, and they also look at how many times your site has a change of information so that they know it's a live site. Although every search engine, whether it's Bing or Google, have a different way of doing this, mostly they're trying to give advantages to the sites that have a lot of content changes and the sites that a lot of other people like and link back to because they find the information valuable. So this is a pretty large topic, and I'm going to break it down into pieces over the next several lessons. But initially, you do need to get some SEO into your blog just to make sure that Google finds it at all. So I'm going to show you a very simple way to do that just to start. And as we go through the process, we'll hone the keywords and we'll hone the way that you approach your blogs to help you get better traction and get more people coming. Now, also understand that this is something that does take time. It's also something that won't happen overnight, even if you're doing the right things. It's a very gradual process and it does take a while. And I'll also show you how to see the kinds of people that are coming to your site, where they're coming from, how often they're coming, how long they stay on a site. So there's a lot of things that we'll discuss over time. But let's look at the SEO tool that's built into the Bloggorious templates that we're using. You find it under Appearance, under Theme Options. Now, if you come down here to this panel, you'll see it says SEO. Now let's look at a few of these things. This is what they call the homepage SEO. If you notice, my site is called Your Site, but you can give yourself a homepage custom title. Let's say we decide to call this Your Site for Bloggorious. Let's go down and save that. We also have to enable the fact that you want a custom title. Let's hit save. And now, once it's saved, if we went back to the site, you can see now at the top it says Your Site for Bloggorious. And because you're on a site that's bloggorious.com, this is something that may be a nice advantage for you, because the name of your blog may not necessarily be exactly the same as the URL of your site. So this is where you can change it. The next important part is called the meta description. When Google looks up your site and shows it on its web page, and as you know, when you see the search, it shows a little description, and this is actually the description. So you just have to type in just a sentence or two that describes your site. This information is sitting in a place within the code of your website, and Google knows to look for that. And so when you make a description, certain keywords in your description will help Google see what you are and will also help move you farther up in the list. For now, because we haven't gone into that, it's still important that you put down some kind of meta description, and we can hone it and change it anytime we want. Now, the homepage meta keywords is the same kind of thing. We need to pick words that describe what your site is about. There are many different ways to find keywords. For now, I just want you to pick a bunch of keywords. Let's say this was a photography website. You can pick keywords like photography, then you can hit a comma, Canon, camera. If you wanted to use something that has multiple words, you want to put quotes around it. So if I was going to say black and white, I would do it that way. And this can go on and on. I would try to find 20 good keywords and put them in here, and Google will be looking specifically for these keywords. Later, we'll be talking about tools that Google actually provides that can help you determine what keywords are the most searched on for people looking for your kind of topics, so that you know what kind of keywords you need to put in. That's more involved, and we'll do that at a later time. But for now, let's just get some of the basic keywords in. We also can't forget to enable it. We haven't enabled the meta description, so we need to enable it. We haven't enabled the keywords, so we need to enable it. As you can see next to these buttons and descriptions, there's a little question mark. So the question marks are little help buttons, and mostly throughout the interface, they tend to work and give you what you need. Here they particularly do. Just for example, if you didn't understand what enable canonical URLs is, just click on it, and now you can see it helps to prevent the indexing of duplicate content by search engines. Now let's look at the single post page SEO. And we're not going to go into this at this time. What they're basically doing here is giving an allowance of customization for certain individual posts, so that you can actually have some individual posts that have custom titles or custom keywords. Let's say you have a shopping site and you want your blog area to have certain custom names because it's a blog as opposed to products. This is where we would get that done, and we'll go into all of that, but I just wanted to show it to you. And the index page SEO, again, something we'll talk about later. There's an indexing system within WordPress, and there's other ways to index pages. Also, just to show you, and we won't go into this for quite a while because this is more advanced, but there are ways of using special code to help along the SEO lines as well. And these are places that you can add code without actually having to go into the coding part of WordPress. It's one of the things I really like about this particular templates interface. So that's all we're going to do for now. Please think about the keywords and your meta description. Put it in so Google will know where you are and the other search engines will know where you are. Keep watching, and we'll have some more instruction and more detailed instruction. Thanks for coming.